For a long time, my own experience of the world felt like an ambient pressure, ideas constantly pushed toward embodiment. If something caught my interest, the natural impulse was to prototype it, externalize it, and force it into reality. I mistakenly assumed this drive was the universal human baseline. I looked at the world and saw a planet full of latent builders, everyone possessing that same constant urge to make things. When I saw people failing to create, I blamed friction. I identified the enemies as bad tooling, complex setups, and institutional gatekeeping, the external walls keeping all that trapped creative energy from escaping. My logic was simple: clear the brush, lower the emotional and technical cost of experimentation, and a wave of universal creation would emerge of its own accord. I spent years trying to clear that brush. I built systems to compress technical complexity, hosted meetups, and mentored people one-on-one to create environments where the cost of failure was essentially zero. But the expected explosion of creation never materialized. Even in a frictionless, supportive environment, highly capable people would start a project, hit the first moment of ambiguity, and stall indefinitely. These were people with obvious intelligence and sharp creative awareness. They possessed the technical talent required to build, yet they produced no artifacts. This graph shows the output vacuum I kept encountering. As the friction line plummets toward zero, the creative output remains flat, completely ignoring the upward trajectory of my original theory. This systemic failure proved that the problem was not technical. My foundational hypothesis about human motivation was wrong. I had to accept a difficult distinction. Aptitude and intrinsic drive exist on different planes. A person can be highly capable and creatively aware while having no internal desire to repeatedly instantiate ideas into reality. Many people gravitate toward possibility space. This is the comfortable, social realm of theorizing, planning, and adopting the identity of a creator without the burden of execution. In contrast, reality space is where sustained creation actually happens. It is lonely, repetitive, and economically irrational. It is a space defined by an unusual tolerance for uncertainty and social exposure. Modern builder culture has been co-opted by possibility space. It has become a culture of signaling and aesthetics rather than actual engineering. Most people in these communities are rationally seeking social identity and belonging. They are avoiding the grueling reality of making something exist. The true builder is defined by their psychological orientation. You see this orientation in the tiny minority of people who continue building, even under poor conditions. They tolerate exhaustion, social ambiguity, and continuous failure simply to see an idea externalized. For this unique group, creation is an involuntary, relentless internal compulsion. It simply persists regardless of external reward or environmental support. Accepting this was isolating. I realized that tools can amplify a builder, and communities can support them, but an environment can never manufacture this internal pressure to make something exist. Sustained creation remains rare because the required tolerance for uncertainty and repetition is a psychological anomaly. Ironically, this realization made me more empathetic. I stopped viewing a lack of output as a failure of character. Human survival systems are designed to reward predictability and risk minimization. Evolution prioritizes emotional conservation and stability over the volatility of the new. Environments generally do not reward experimentation. In fact, creation is usually punished until a rare success retroactively legitimizes the risk. Choosing passivity over creation is a highly legible, safe, and rational adaptation to the incentive structures of society. This realization dispels the final myth. Non-builders are not walking around secretly suppressing a painful hidden creator identity. For the majority of people, the absence of a compulsion to create is a normal, healthy baseline. What I once interpreted as hesitation or unrealized potential was a projection of my own biased neurochemistry. I was witnessing a fundamentally different mode of existence. By letting go of the myth of the latent builder, we stop trying to fix people who aren't broken. We can finally appreciate the diversity of human experience exactly as it is.